Hello and welcome to the Dad and Buried podcast. My name is Mike, aka Dad and Buried. I'm realizing I start every episode like this where I talk about how huge my following is on Instagram and stuff, and then I make fun of you for not being on social media, and then you're like, oh, but it's cool that I'm not on social media because, you know,
because I've avoided all the horribleness that comes with Facebook, and look at our whole society now. It's been ripped apart. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, good
that's
joke.
Right.
So what it boils
it's
down
not a
to
joke.
is my name is Mike. My name is Mike.
My name
Your
is Peter. Hey, everybody, or Pete. That's how I go. Peter. So anyway, thanks for listening. This is Pete's podcast. This is my co-host, Mike. He is Dad and Buried. Right. It's a play on Dead and Buried. Because basically what happens is when you have a kid, you feel like your life is over and you're dead and also buried under the weight of responsibility to deliver well-adjusted kids into society.
Yeah. Good luck with that one. Is this what it's like to be roasted? Are you roasting me right now?
No, I'm speaking truth to power, Mike.
We should do an episode where we pretend to be each other, like we play each other's roles.
Oh yeah, that would be such a funny episode.
I'll wear a pineapple shirt.
Yeah.
And talk about my vomit bowl.
And I guess I'll just show up and start spouting things off and just
That's exactly right.
Just like interrupting and then immediately putting like random thoughts that I have about a show that I once saw and then singing a theme tune of some kind.
Look, I will sing my ass off. You got to be loud and annoying.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the way.
I'm saying if you're trying to be me.
Oh, well, that's true. But, listen, Mike, we make a good duo. You bring a lot of things that I couldn't possibly bring to the table, 100%. Like, what is it? Like, hold on a second. Let me just. Anyway, now you speak.
You bring a British accent that
which I can do, actually.
Skin crawl.
That's actually really true. I could do. The rest of the podcast is going to be British Pete. Hello, everyone. It's British Pete.
All right. God, that really makes me sick to my stomach. I'm going to need that vomit bowl. Anyway, so we are back with another episode. School still hasn't started yet here in New York. It starts next week, which coincides with my eldest son's birthday.
Oh, my God.
It will be the first birthday in a long time where he's not in school for it. The school year will not have started before his birthday. His birthday is right in the middle of the month. And we're not starting until like the 16th, I think, right?
The 21st?
Well, I think the first official day is like the 16th.
I hope it is, man.
Yeah. I don't think they even know. That's what's crazy. I don't think even the school system knows.
No, it's true because honestly, New York, you didn't have enough time. You only had the 4 months that it was during the pandemic, and then of course, the 4 months, after the pandemic to get your shit together. But good call on postponing another week.
Look, cut them some slack. Time flies when you're having fun, and your country and the world
I know.
is crippled by a pandemic which haven't been seen.
Or when you're going to Club Med. I mean, come on, what the fuck are you doing?
Have you been to Club Med?
Yeah, it's like a small COVID experiment. You know what? I'm going to do? I'm going to put my kids in Small Land and IKEA. They're going to be inoculated from COVID. You know what the one thing stronger than COVID is? A Band-Aid in the mouth from the bottom of the IKEA ball pit in Small Land. That will inoculate you from anything.
You are disgusting. Have you been back to IKEA since
No, of course not.
Has your wife?
No, but not for lack of trying. Like Mr. Anderson.
Standing outside trying to get in.
You can't do it. Yeah. No, they can't.
So September it's a time of rebirth, really, Pete. This is our first September episode. Is that true?
God, no, it's not at all, man.
Well, no, I'm not saying that it's a time of rebirth. That's a joke because fall is the time of death. But is this our first September episode of the year? It was a good joke.
Yeah,
God damn it.
It is the first because it's the 8th. Yes, it is.
Yeah, but it comes out on the 10th or the 11th.
Oh, good call.
You just got crushed. You just got lawyered.
No, we put one out last week, which was the 2nd.
So the day this goes out is the opening day for football, which I'm still not entirely sure is going to happen. It's supposed to be happening. We'll find out later tonight if you're listening to this on Thursday
It
morning.
has to happen. Come on. Everything else is over. I mean, they got hockey, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I know. But we'll
You're going
see.
to do hockey, do football.
Every time they open a new school, within like 3 days, there's like 300 cases.
Now we're talking about school. We're talking about hockey. We're talking about football. We're really
You brought up hockey. I'm talking about fall, which is about school, back to school.
Yeah.
It's about football. It's about a bunch of birthdays in my house. And it's about, the start of the new television season, or it used to be before streaming.
Hey, I have so many strong feelings about opening school. I don't think we should really get into it because I think we're gonna get diverted.
Here's what we'll
AKA,
do.
I think it should open.
When
I mean, not in a like no mask, like just in the school kind of way, but in like, hey, look, if you're gonna follow the data, like you kind of have to open school because you can't. What are you gonna do? Like just live your life in a fucking hole? Like it's like things have opened for the last 5 months and things have been okay. Specifically in New York City is what I'm talking about.
Here's what we're gonna do. So Mom and Barry and I, when you were on one of your 17 vacations this summer, we did an episode on Back to School, which I don't know if you heard it. You should check it out. It's the Dad and Barry podcast. You can find it on Apple, Spotify. I don't know. So when we open next week or whatever, and then in a month when school shut down again, when they're preparing to reopen, me and you will do a Back to School episode. During COVID. Okay. So in like November, when we're finally coming back.
I'll save my opinions and just scream into my pillow like I normally do.
You already made your opinions pretty clear. Open schools at the expense of everyone's children and the teachers.
Not really. I mean,
that's what you said, isn't it?
Yeah, no, not really. I mean, come on, guys. The kids. It's half of the people. A quarter of the kids are going to be in school. Teachers are going to be kind of masked up. If you are a teacher and you're worried about starting school, I thoroughly encourage you to wear a mask throughout the day. It'll greatly reduce the risk of transmission. And just wear like a hardcore serious mask, even if the kid doesn't do that.
If you were a teacher and you didn't believe it, listen to me.
We're not gonna get into it because here's the deal: you have post office workers, firemen, police officers. Like there have been a lot of people who have been doing in close contact with a lot of different people for a long time. I'm gonna say post scary time, which is April. So since April. We have consistently
what about flu season?
What about flu season? All right, so guess what? Everything that we do now has shifted.
You
cannot walk around
about anything on this podcast? I don't think you've ever been this passionate about anything on this podcast.
Yeah, because honestly, I can't go another minute
with your kids
inside my house. I just not. At first, it was like kind of it's sort of like a scare. It was a very scary time, and once that started, once it started to pass, and you kind of made it, you had to make it fun for your kids and your family, and you're like, it's going to be okay. And that was a very scary time in April, because you didn't know whether food was going to run out or not. If, lest we remember, or toilet paper
going to run out. God. That happened real quick. Toilet
paper.
Yeah, people panicked. I never panicked about toilet paper.
Yeah, we know, Mike.
Look, man.
You just rode that wave. You're like,
problems.
Toilet paper?
Yes.
Why is there a run on toilet paper?
Anyway, so look,
your t-shirts.
It's funny that you're talking about. So we did a forced family bonding episode about, you're under quarantine and what are you doing with your kids to survive and all that stuff. But now that life is slowly crawling back to normal, much too slowly for Pete's taste, obviously. Yeah. I wanted to talk. Well, you actually wanted to talk about family dinners, which I think you've been having a lot more of together since you're not rushing home from work. Everybody's home, start dinner. So I asked a bunch of poll questions, and we're going to get into the answers. Some stuff that I think was normal in the 80s, I wanted to see. Is it still normal? Is it still normal today, Pete?
It is.
That's what I wanted to find out. Well,
why is everything in the 80s not good?
What about the 70s? It was how long? It was 30 years ago, right? The world has changed. There were no iPhones in the 80s. Do you remember growing up with no iPhones? I bet you don't.
To all their kids and their complicated shoes and their hipping and their hopping and their bipping and their bobbing and their sweater.
All right, we're going to be right back after this to hopefully to not hear any more of Pete's Bill Cosby impersonation. and talk about family eating meals together, family traditions, and other stuff that may or may not still be happening in 2020.
Right after this delicious
I
gelato.
said no more. I said stop. All right, everybody, we're back to the Dadbury Podcast. This week, we're going to be talking about some of the family traditions that, we used to have. You know what? Maybe when you were a kid, you had some of these traditions with your family, and maybe nowadays you don't, or maybe you still do. You know what? I asked a bunch of poll questions. The way Instagram works is you have to give basically a yes or no answer. There's a little bit of controversy on my Instagram feed because people were angry that there wasn't an in-between answer. And I got in a bunch of arguments with people about this is just the way the fucking widget works. Get off my
It's F, marry, or kill. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? It's Instagram. Marry, or kill.
And
it's a turkey.
Marry or kill. It's either marry or kill. This is the thing. It's either marry or kill. And people, if they wanted to do
There's no F.
You can't.
There's no F. Goddamn Instagram. Thanks, Facebook, for ruining yet another social media platform that we all enjoy and get ads on.
I could have asked the multiple choice questions with each question, but that's even more of a pain and even more confusing.
Who is it?
Simple.
Who is it more? Just to interject. Who's it more of a pain for? The multiple choice questions.
Me, the person doing all the work. Doing this, putting it out for free in the world. Nobody pays me for my Instagram.
Oh my God.
To my Instagram. You know what?
Oh, you know what?
A sandwich
to the moon. Oh my God.
Anyway, before we get into the episode and the various poll questions I asked, I did want to remind everybody that this is like our 78th episode or something somehow. We've been doing this for a year and a half plus.
Yeah.
And you can hear us on Apple, Spotify, anywhere else you get your podcast. You can watch us on YouTube. That's an easy place to leave individual comments on episodes. And if you want, you can leave us a review or a star rating.
But let me just tell you, if you're a bot, don't even think about watching this on YouTube. Do you understand me, bots? Okay, carry on, Mike.
Thank you for that public service announcement to the bots. And if you want, you can leave a review and leave a rating and also even throw us a little bit of money on Anchor, like Ryan Miller and MS Babayan do, or on Patreon, like all of these people do. Check Your Kids at the Door, Chris Coleman, M. Cedeno 1980, Mallory McKenzie, Tina Davis, Miriam, Rob Gilberry, who's pretty new, Lindsay Woodruff, Andrea Sandoval, Barbara Geiger, Bill D'Amica. Got a story about Dana Bosday, Jacques Kofar, Morning Glow, Cotton Farmer AZ, Wes Clark, Jennifer Wynn, Julie McCarthy, Paula Polsky, Mary Williams, and Julie Burton.
Amazing. So
it reminded me, I meant to tell you that over the weekend, we went to Six Flags, the Great Adventure Safari, whatever it's called.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we drove an hour and a half to Jersey.
You went to a amusement park?
We didn't go to the amusement park. We just go to the safari where you stay in the car and you drive through basically an outdoor zoo.
Okay.
It was maybe the best zoo experience I've ever had.
Really?
It was incredible. It was like you're in the car for like 2 to 3 hours. There's a lot of cars ahead of you or whatever. But
okay, that's a strange way to
here's the thing.
Normally going
to the zoo in like August or September, like the dog days of summer, is really uncomfortable and hot and humid. Just what happens the day you decide to go to the zoo, that's what happens. And a lot of times, like the animals are hiding in the shade and they're not having a good time either.
Yeah.
In this situation, you were in the car with
the animals,
with the AC kicking. The animals were out and about. They were having a great time.
They were kicking it.
We saw tigers and lions and baboons and giraffes and GNU, the G is silent, and emus and water buffalo.
All together?
All
chilling.
Like Lion King. They're all having a good time.
Yeah.
It was
wow. That's cool.
It was a blast.
That's cool.
And one of our listeners actually who works at Six Flags hooked me up with tickets. I would highly recommend going. I could not believe it. I was going. I anticipated hating everything about it.
That's weird.
That's how I live my life. That's how I live my life.
Oh, right.
And it was a blast, and it was a great family bonding experience. Unlike
family bonding experience.
Yes, we were all in the car together, pointing out the animals.
That's cool. It is nice when your kids can just for like 10 minutes be like, oh, look at that house, or like just
Yes.
look at different things. You're like, oh, that's a good one. And you can like, you can encourage them by saying that's a great observation.
They were excited to see the many different animals on display, and it was fun to
That's
see how
cool. That's fun.
excited they were. And I
I
was
like
really
that.
shocked at how many, because usually when you go to the zoo, the best animals you want to see are either hard to see or they're not
Yeah,
around or whatever. And
right,
in this
right, right.
situation, they were very out and open, which was great. So it
And
was
how
a
are the
fun.
public bathrooms?
There's like before you go in, you pull off
And
and
you
you take a
just
shit in the dirt.
use the
Yeah, yeah.
facilities
And then you
right
get
next
back
to
in.
the lion.
The
And the
one, the
lions are
one
like, God,
drawback.
this guy again. Hate this
I told you
facility.
I have IBS. Anyway, so it was a wonderful family bonding experience, and it's funny because later that day, you and I were talking about what this episode should be about, and you mentioned family dinner,
Right.
and it got me, the fact that I had been to the zoo, and you mentioning family dinner just got me thinking about family bonding experiences, and whether they happen the same way they used to. So I took to Instagram and I asked a series of poll questions
Oh,
to
did you now?
my many loyal followers. You wouldn't know a thing about that because you don't know what Instagram is.
Nope. Nope.
Um, and let me tell you, did they answer or did they answer?
I don't know because you didn't fill out our little document that we
Oh,
used
you're
to
right, I
write.
didn't. Look, you know
No.
what? I don't need this
Yeah.
kind of BS. So what I wanted to ask you was, why did you want to talk about family dinner?
That's a good question. It just kind of came to me because we had been doing some family dinners, and it was actually not something we normally do.
Oh, it's
And
not.
no, no, we have normally we feed the kids and we're around while we feed the kids, and they all the kids sit together, but it's the time. And also what we do is we're not progressive enough or have enough patience to
You're
cook
not woke.
to cook human food, i.e. food that we enjoy eating, while also trying to get them to eat it. Like,
So do you have separate meals for the kid? Like you and your wife have a separate
well,
meal?
yeah, we'll just like come in and like, crush out a certain meal for the kids that we know, and we mix it up. It's not the same meal every day, of course, and
But then you'll
but
get them to eat, and then you'll get
like
them
no
to go
one,
off and do whatever they're doing, and then you guys will eat together.
yeah, none of these kids are eating quinoa and like, things that have other flavors or Indian food or
So what
whatever
are
it
they
is.
eating?
Chicken nuggets, mac and cheese.
Every night
Oh my
for
God,
dinner?
it's
This is
goddamn
not true. I
America.
have seen your wife's Instagram and the
No,
meals
but
she creates.
yeah, but no, but then we have vegetables and there's also, I mean, it mix it up every now and again. It's not just chicken nuggets every night, but it is definitely, there's a grain of some kind. There's a,
But
a meatball,
but
like
you don't
whatever,
all sit at the
pasta.
table. You don't all sit at the table and eat
No,
at the same time. That's
no.
rare
And
for you.
then that's rare. That's rare. And then we started doing it and started to notice something.
What's that?
And Mike, let me tell you, when I start to notice things, things happen.
What did you notice, Pete?
Just that, attention spans grew. They could sit longer. We were hanging out, more fun.
It sounds fun.
I don't know.
Attention
I'm just
spans.
yeah. I'm really selling.
So
So then it
I'm
got me thinking
surprised.
because we've since it kind of it was a small period. It was a window. I'm just gonna call it a window. And then we kind of stopped doing it, and I was like, I wonder, because I used to eat every night with my family, and then but that's not something that I have carried on with my kids, and I was like, what the
Well,
fuck is up with that? That's
that's
all.
why
That's
I
what it
wanted to
was,
ask
Mike. And then I
some
texted you,
questions.
should we do this topic? And then you said, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you got mad at me.
No, but you anyway.
You
Yeah.
got mad at me because we had
Oh
a
my
conversation.
God.
You were like, I don't need this shit.
Not even. You were like, well, what about this? What about that? What about that? I was like, Jesus, well, then don't do it. I don't know. Yeah, it was too many. It was too much, dude. Anyway, you didn't understand that. You didn't understand that. That's fine. You didn't
I'm
understand
gonna
that.
post on Instagram a
Great.
photo of our conversation. It was like three comments, and then
No,
you were
but
just
it was like, look, and I was very specific about what it was and how it brought, and you're like, I still don't understand. It was like, oh my fucking
no. I
God.
said
Okay.
we talked about it before, so let's tweak it. And you got mad.
We talked about taking kids to restaurants.
You didn't like that I disagreed
No,
slightly.
you said we had
It's
talked
okay.
about taking kids to restaurants was a topic, and
got
that is its own topic.
I'm gonna share. I'll share.
All right, fine.
Don't worry about it. Anyway, so I asked that in a series of questions, but I'm surprised because I thought you were going to be like, oh, we do family dinner all the time.
No, we don't.
But I asked the question.
Surprise.
And Mom and Barry and the kids and I would say we do it a fair amount, and we do mostly try to eat the same thing, which often becomes a nightmare, and it's us trying to scream, like force the kids to eat, and they say they don't like it even though they liked it 2 days ago, and all that shit that goes with trying to get your kids to eat dinner. It's not a lot of fun.
Wait a second. The great angry dad and Barry is sitting with his kids eating delicious grown-up food, and his kids are eating it.
I'm not.
Are you?
Sometimes.
No, meaning like, are you doing it, or how often would you say?
I don't know, because you lose all sense of time during this quarantine and during the summer, which is like quarantine on steroids. It's a decent amount we'll be at the table together. Whether we're all eating at the same time is a little bit up in the air. But when I asked people, 7,500 people or 6,500 people answered the question, and 5,000 of them said most of the time we eat together. We eat family dinner together.
See, that's the thing. I think I'm really fucking blowing it.
You are blowing it.
Because we're not doing that. But all right, can I just describe, the kids are there, sat around the table, and one of us is there, kind of help, like cleaning up and there, the kitchen and the
so somebody's like out up and about and like doing other stuff while the
parent, like the kids just aren't eating by themselves. The parent is around, but it's and yeah, we're talking about different things, but often it's just really just about, like, I mean, the different things are who's not eating and why aren't you eating?
I know.
Why can't you just fucking eat? And I don't know, like
3 more bites.
Yeah.
So the actual way I worded the question was, do you sit down together for dinner as a family? And 76% said most of the time.
That's cool.
Then I said, you go around the table and talk about your days and like how it was and stuff. And 73% said they do something like that, where like some people messaged me and said they did like Peaks and Pits or High Level Buffalo, which is like the same thing, like just kind of trick to try to get your kids to talk and have a conversation. Yeah. Oftentimes we let the kid who's going to be 10 in a week, oftentimes he has his Kindle. And if there's a lull, he just reads on his Kindle, which is probably not the best practice for learning how to have a conversation stuff. But we even have there's like decks of conversation cards that like somebody gave us as a gift or something, where you pick it out and it's like, if you were on a desert island and they're like kid oriented, right? So they're icebreakers, because you need to have icebreakers for conversations with your children.
Yeah, no. We do the same thing, but it's, instead of icebreakers, it's Cards Against Humanity. And a lot of it is raunchy. It's not good.
But 76% said they sit down and eat dinner together, and 73% said that they go around the table and like talk about their days and stuff.
That's fantastic. That's good. That's very good. And I think that's what, I feel like that's what spurred this the question. I feel like we're doing it wrong.
So I asked, do you usually have home cooked meals? What do you think the numbers were on that?
Well, if 70 here, all right, let me extrapolate. If 76 said it was around the table, I would say 70% was home cooked meals.
89%.
All right, there you go.
Usually have home cooked meals, right? So we order out. I would say before quarantine, we ordered out. We had like Friday night pizza night, and then like one other night, like Mom and Barry and I would get like sushi or Thai or something like that. That has gone up probably to like 3 or 4, depending on the week.
Okay.
Because even though
you guys would order out more during quarantine?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
We would order about the same as you during or pre-quarantine, like a couple times a week, maybe once or twice a week, like you said. But we ended up getting groceries. Like our number one goal for the week. It was almost like the hunter-gatherer thing. It was like coming back with like an ungodly amount of groceries where it was like, because we're not spending it on anything else. We're not going out. No one's going out anymore. No one's doing anything. So
We've done a lot of grocery shopping, but the food tends to go quicker during the day because everybody's home at the same time. And also, I don't know, there's something about, so like I'm not racing home from work and Mama Barry's not racing home from work. I was trying to get home and then like not have any time to cook. But something about like the formlessness of the days sometimes makes it harder for us to get it together and like cook something. But apparently we're outliers because only 11% of people said nobody got time for those home cooked meals. 89%.
I know. Yeah, home cooked meals are. So we will cook. We cook every night for the kids. Now it's not, it's not gourmet necessarily. I mean, for the kids that is. It's not like it's like standard.
Once they go to bed, it's
fare. Yeah, once they go to bed, then it's like yummy. Actually, my wife is
don't do that. Don't do that. For the 3 people that get that reference, that's not gourmet.
No.
So then I asked, do the kids get dessert every night? So when I was a kid growing up, I honestly don't remember. But I'm pretty sure it was like a treat, and it wasn't every night. In my house, the kids get dessert every night. It's partially because we use it as like, here's final call before bedtime, dessert. Now you're going to bed right after this kind of thing.
Well, hold on a second. Like anything, just weaponize it. Have you finished your food? No. Okay. Well then and then the best is we do this where it's like, all right, just finish half of it. And then is this enough? All right, finish half of that.
Yes. Yeah, we
and
do
then
that.
like and then they're like, well, then simple logic kicks in. They're like, wait, hold on a second. But then I just finished half. I'm like, hey guy, who's holding all the cards here? I've got your delicious dessert. And then I start stroking my invisible mustache and curling it up and be like, yo, this is called extortion. And
they must
look
really
it up.
respect the invisible mustache twirl.
Yeah, they really respect it. Actually, it is, it's somewhat, what I do also, outside of negative reinforcement, which is obviously a great thing that you can use to really just fuck your kids up, is positive reinforcement. So what I do is I'll focus on the kid who's finished, and I'll start rewarding them with like double and triple desserts. And then other kids are like, wait, what? What? What are you talking about? And I'm like, what? This person's finished their dessert. They're finished all their food. But you didn't say that. And I go, I don't have to, motherfucker. So, this is my house. These are my rules.
Not only are you weaponizing dessert, you're weaponizing positive reinforcement.
Yeah. And then someone else enters the room and goes, no, it's not. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. They start crying. All right.
All right. So me and Mama Barry do tend to give our kids dessert, but like I said, it's kind of like, it's like the warning bell. Like you hear with dessert, we're wrapping it up, and now everyone's going to bed. 71% or 29% said they do it every night. 71% said you got to earn that shit, like you said.
Yeah, you got to earn it. No,
yeah,
there's
but you
a
mean
lot
earn
of
it by finishing the meal, or do you mean earn it by like behavior?
Well, thank you, Mike. Both of those things qualify, and really it means the same. Like if you're up and running around during dinner, and if you can't sit down and you're dancing because you just have to do one thing, which is get up and just shake your body, and even though you've been told not to do that multiple times, but just this one time, this is going to be the time that brings down the house. There's dessert, gone. Yeah. Just gone.
Right out from under you. No more dessert for you.
But what I do like is there is a bit of a resignation, which actually I kind of enjoy. Not enjoy, but it's one of my son or my middle daughter, just someone will be like, you know what, I'm not gonna have dessert. Just like produce their plate. I'm gonna be like, you know what, it's just not happening tonight. I'm not having dessert. So what are you gonna do? And then then they just take away all my power immediately. And then I just like, okay, well played. I'll see you tomorrow on the court.
You get owned,
The
and then they start stroking their invisible mustache.
Yeah, exactly. It's a wonderful life that we live.
So here's another question about family bonding activities, which I think this is harder than it used to be for a variety of reasons. But do you watch TV together as a family? Was the next question I asked. Now, back in the day, it was like, and even when we were growing up and we had cable and stuff, there were just far fewer options, right? It was like whatever is on is on.
Right.
And if it's a Wonderful World of Disney or whatever, or, you know, Murphy Brown, right? Those are basically the two options most of the time, I think. Are you going to sit down with your kids and watch that and like find something to bond over? Now, you know, the kid can watch, you know, he can go dial up whatever he or she wants on countless kids shows on Netflix, all these streaming platforms. So it's a little bit harder because you need to find something that you can all kind of agree on. And usually one of you is giving in, right? So my oldest son really likes to watch like the Flash show, which is on like UPN or the CW or WB or whatever one of those things is. It's about Flash the superhero, and it's cheesy because it's like network TV or whatever, but I'll like tolerate it, right? Or we'll watch like Parks and Rec, which is like pretty good and like good natured. There's a handful of like sex and relationship things that maybe they don't get. But that's like compromising. Either we compromise his way and watch The Flash, or we compromise my way and watch something like that. Otherwise, it's just put on what you want and I'll be on my phone.
Right.
Do you do any of those things?
So what you're saying is family movie night or family TV night or watching as a family. Yeah.
Do you do that?
We have started to do it more. So I have a 6-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 12-year-old, which is very different from like a 5-year-old, 9. You know, it's just attention spans. Like it comes down to it's sort of lowest common denominator. Let me put it that way.
So you watch the Muppets.
If your kid can't understand concepts, there's been a couple times it's been really sweet and quite cute where, you know, my 6-year-old will be like, I don't understand these words. We'll be watching something, and he's like, I just don't understand what they're saying even. Like I know it's English, but I don't even understand what they're talking about. And so he's like, can I go on my iPad or whatever? And you know, I actually remember that, like, you know, just not quite understanding even what the hell is going on the TV, even though it is a TV.
Now. The kid has an option now to be like, can I go on my iPad or can I go watch something else on, you know, a different streaming network? My 4.5-year-old will just get up and leave and be like, I'm going to go do something else.
Yeah. Please. We've made the wonderful distinction of big screen versus small screen. Like no small screens, only big screens. You little son of a, just big screen only. So you can only watch a TV show on the big screen. You can't watch your like kids YouTube, whatever the
right.
Is. Yeah.
So,
but we do enjoy a good. We've been doing like Back to the Future, like, you know, the wonderful like old time, taking a leaf out of an earlier episode when we did watching movies with kids. I took couple suggestions. I think Back to the Future was one of them.
The stuff people mentioned, you were like, that's a good call.
Yeah. And then we started doing the Pirates of the Caribbean, like things that are just kind of visually stimulating and also, you know, you don't mind watching.
Except for,
yeah. That worked.
So I asked that question, and 65% of people, they do bond together with some family TV. I would be curious, maybe I'll ask a follow-up what they watch. We never really super got into like TV shows. We had an episode about kids TV shows, which no adult wants to watch. And we talked about movies to share with your kids. We never really talked about TV shows, which you can pretty much, I could dial up whatever I want right now. Like I've shown them Brady Bunch. I could show them He-Man or G.I. Joe if I want, or we could show them Modern Family, which they like a little bit, which I don't really like, or Parks and Rec. Next, I think Sex and the City, and then Oz. I don't know if you ever saw Oz on HBO.
Yeah, that's how it goes. It goes immediately Parks and Rec, or Sopranos, or Oz. Just That's it. It's just, why is that guy doing that thing to that guy? You know, we do. There's a little bit of competition. The problem is that each of my kids likes to watch very specific things with me and or my wife, and if another one of the siblings is around, it's off. No, we can't watch it.
Oh, they don't want to
Because
share.
this guy's here, this person's here, and so yeah. First of all, my
Bonding
12-year-old
thing that
night.
they don't want to share. Yeah.
First of all, the thing I'm literally the most proud of is I've raised a daughter who is as into any kind of House Hunters episode, whether it's House Hunters
You're proud of
International,
this?
I'm talking House Hunters Renovation, I'm talking just straight up House Hunters, all 45 seasons of it. Yeah, so we're burning through all of those.
You like House Hunters?
Oh, I'm sorry. Do you not like the golden triangle, the golden circle of TV, which is the perfect story? Carol and Harold.
Staged.
Oh my God, they've moved from Michigan with a $2,000 budget, but their house is $455,000 that they're looking for, and it's like, what? It's great. I hate the pink color.
You're gonna have to make some concessions to make it work, guys.
Yeah.
No,
And they always hate the pink color. I hate the pink color and I hate the carpet. And you're like, yeah, good call. Don't get this house. It's 4,500 square feet. It's got a bit of paint on it though.
So you hate watch it. You like to yell.
I love it. Oh my God, it's like a sport. Yeah, it's like a sport.
Sure.
It should be treated. House Hunters should be. That's it. House Hunters should be treated like a sport. You have contestants,
be at the
and what you should do is you should continually, the contestants that you enjoy the most should continually buy more houses and look for more houses and just dominate that real estate
just
market.
build their empire. So it's like
Yeah.
risk crossed with.
That's correct. I want to see like Carol and Harold moving from Michigan to Rotterdam to find their house and then renovating it. It's the best. I love it when House Hunters International is the absolute greatest. It's
a bit of it.
Everything.
Like
it's fish out of water. It's like everyone's always from the Midwest, and they're always like, but I don't know. It doesn't have the backyard that I want. And it's like, dude, like you came from Iowa.
The big joke is always that they're like, I'm a professional clarinetist, and I'm homeless and unemployed, and our budget is $3 billion, right?
Yeah,
it's like nothing adds up, and the house. Obviously, you don't want to see somebody hunt for a shithole, right? So they always have to be nice places that they're looking at. But depending on the location, they might be looking for something a little bit different.
But Mike, that's a House Hunters series that we just haven't even discovered yet. Like House Hunters, like just shithole edition. Yeah. Okay, my budget is $15,000 and I need a house, a 4-bedroom house.
College kids.
Well, let me show you downtown Detroit, and just kind of going through like Camden, New Jersey, whatever. Doesn't matter.
So you mentioned turning House Hunters into a competition, which leads me to another question I asked: whether people do family game nights. Now we touched on this a little bit during like what people were doing to bond during quarantine. But I just wonder, just in general, are like family game nights a thing that still happens? You mentioned Cards Against Humanity with your children.
Yes.
We play. So my youngest is a little bit too young for anything but like Candyland or a couple of those variations, which is just, an insipid game.
Too young for Candyland?
The only games we have in the no, he's not too young for Candyland. He's too young for like Monopoly or Clue.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
My oldest
Shoots
likes
and
to play
ladders,
Clue.
Candyland.
My oldest likes to play Clue, but when he's playing Clue, he doesn't like lying. So bluffing to him is like lying or like pretending the whole thing makes him nervous.
Oh, really?
So it's hard to play with him, and I just get angry when he starts breaking the rules because I want to win fair and square. I want to beat my 9-year-old at a game that I played 1,000 times fair and square. I don't want him to blurt out to mommy.
So if you're like, was it the candlestick? He'll be like, maybe, and you're like, oh, for God's sakes.
Or he'll want somebody else, like mom, to like be on his side. Like he doesn't realize what I have. Like, dude, you know what? I'm trying to win.
I'm trying to fucking detective your ass.
The game I liked the most, which I think is a really good combination of like, it's not as sophisticated as Monopoly, but it's more fun than like Candyland, is Life.
Sorry.
Life. No, sorry, it's so boring.
What are you talking about?
Sorry,
First of
Trouble
all,
is
take
so
that
boring.
back. What do
No.
you mean Trouble?
Trouble's another game.
Oh, Trouble's the game where you get
Pop
impregnated
the
and you don't
bubble.
know what to do.
No, you
Oh.
pop the bubble.
No, but you get and then you have to tell your parents.
No,
It's a different
that's real
game.
life.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry, it's a
that's
different
high school.
game. I forgot. Okay, got it.
So
Sorry.
55% of people do family game nights, and I should have asked, what game do you play?
Sorry. We love Sorry. We're a Sorry family, and I'm not sorry. No, really, it is a great game, easy to play. Again,
Isn't it the same thing as
age.
Trouble?
No, but my age ranges. It's a wide range
I don't
from
remember how
from
to play.
12 to 6. But it's good because you can really fuck someone over and you get the sense of understanding of like how badly, and also you get a sense of like consequences. Like, so you can
If you make
really
this mistake,
you can
get burned.
screw
Yeah.
someone over, and someone who has no concept can really screw you back, and it's great. And that's like a sort of universal
Cutthroat.
concept. No, but it's a universal concept that even someone who's, and it's very simple, and all you're doing is counting. You can count, paces, and that's all it is. It's different from Candyland, which is like, oh, it's a green square, so go to the next green, which is like elementally simple, right?
Yes, obviously.
It's the next level up because you're rolling dice and you're picking a card. I can't remember. And then you have a couple of the cards you can choose whether you want to like really screw someone else or help your own self. And it's like, I love that about the game. It's like got that moral things going on. Like, how badly am I going to screw this person versus helping my own self?
How often do you play this game with your family?
We played it a lot if it's not obvious.
Do you have like designated game night? Like every Wednesday is Sorry night?
We don't, but during the scary time, we definitely did. We were game nighting often.
But now that it's not scary anymore, you're like, you kids are on your own.
Yeah, no,
I gotta go do a
honestly,
podcast.
Yeah, honestly, I gotta go. Leave me alone. I don't know when I'll be back. I'm going out.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
No, of course I'm gonna bring my mask, which I do.
So the next question I asked, which is really the last one before it kind of gets into a different topic altogether, is, and this is something I was surprised to find out that you did. And a lot of people were like, well, not during COVID. Well, obviously, right? This isn't necessarily about COVID for once, right? Get your head out of COVID's ass. How about that? Do you volunteer at school or coach your kids' sports teams, right? Like Little League or soccer or whatever? You do the soccer thing, right?
Yeah, I'm a coach. Yes.
Is your wife on the PTA?
Yeah, oh yeah.
She's very community minded, yeah.
I mean, not as I would say not as community minded as myself, obviously, because I have so much to give. I think that's one of my faults. I give too much, if you will. I'm constantly giving things like opinions and advice.
And nobody wants.
It's really quite beautiful. And a lot of times people are like, I never even thought you were standing there, and yet you've given me some advice on something.
So you do soccer for more than one kid? You're the coach?
2 kids, yes. Yep, that's correct.
I don't coach because I don't have the patience to deal with anyone. Certainly not other children that aren't mine. But 54% of people are with me. They say, no, I'm not a joiner. I'm not on the PTA, and I don't coach. I was surprised that it wasn't skewed a little bit slightly the other way. But people just don't care anymore.
I don't think
it doesn't take a village anymore, Pete.
I don't think they understand. When you coach, you can yell at other people's kids. Free reign. It's like a hall pass. What are you doing over there? What do you get over there? Get you what the heck? Yeah,
there is something nice, especially in the right circumstance. There is something nice about somebody else disciplining your kids for you. Mm-hmm. Not only do your kids are they more likely to listen to that person, but they get to be the bad guy. Yeah. It takes you off the hook for a little while. if it's in an unsupervised situation and this person isn't a coach and somebody random
Correct.
starts yelling at your kids, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But if it's on Little League or soccer or whatever, God damn it, Joey, get back
No,
on
no.
defense.
The term, hey, listen up is used, and then you can start calling people out. Hey, listen up, Carol, listen up. Yeah, because my daughter's. Yeah, well, it's 1932.
There's no
and,
carols anymore.
I know. Well, I'm trying to use fictitious names
do you get
to protect everybody.
Do you get concerned that in the future kids are going to remember you as like the psycho sideline dad? Because I remember a few of mine.
No, they're going to remember me as the coach who, God damn, brought us to victory 3 times in a row. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh man, I really remember when I broke my leg and was told to just shut up and keep playing. That really worked for me. No, that's not my style. But I do enjoy when there's something very cool about seeing kids kind of get it when it clicks. It's cool, and we haven't always had great teams
together and like
the way we play. Just to be really clear, it's not a competitive league. It's a very, I'm going to just put it out there, it's a very progressive league. It's just everyone can play. By the way, which includes a lot of strategy. So if everyone can play, there's a lot of like, oh God, I got to put these are my best players, and I got to like make sure they're playing properly. It's actually more strategically complicated because you're definitely trying to win. But you need to make sure everyone plays. And actually, it's quite good because at the end of the day, winning is a big part of things. And I think, but also the league, the way it's set up is great because it encourages everyone playing. It's not overly competitive, but it makes it so that it's not a joke to play. Like everyone wants to win, kind of the goal is to win, which is the correct goal if you're playing a sport.
Humiliate your opponents. What is good in life?
Well, that's where actually I will say that's where the real coaching comes in, where you're dominating a team. If you're lucky enough to kind of like you're 5 goals up
I don't know why you would still be watching This Isn't a Marvel Movie, no matter how much I look like Paul Rudd, which you can deny it all you want. It's there in the eyes, I think. I'm young looking like him. If you enjoyed the podcast, which you obviously did or you wouldn't be listening still, sign up on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you want to listen to. Comment here on YouTube, subscribe, hit that like button. We want to hear from you. Comments, questions, dirty jokes, money, all the money you can give us. We'd love it all. Catch you next time.